Hello everyone and welcome to Family Fortunes. I'm Les Dennis. No, I'm joking. Welcome to What a Hit Son, the retro football podcast for retro football fans. I'm delighted today to be joined by Birmingham City fan Woody. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We actually finally got a decent result. Been the first for a while. I was hoping, being a retro football podcast, we'd only have to talk about past, not present.
Well, we mainly will. We mainly will, but you did win. So we'll talk briefly. So at the minute, what do you think is going wrong?
You know what? I don't know. It's really weird. We all got the manager, but that most of the fans wanted. Karanka was quite a popular appointment. But he just can't seem to settle on his best 11. And he changed. I know there's quite a few games, the way the season's panning out, game after game after game after game. So you've got to rotate it a little bit. But I don't know, he's just not getting the best out of the players that we got. We seem to have some half-decent players there, to be honest. But
yeah,
got to give him time. Got to give him time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a positive today. Away win as well.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we can only win away. We can't win at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Home football's absolutely abysmal, mate.
So everyone that comes on, I'll ask them to name a team and a manager. Obviously, your team's going to be Birmingham. Your manager doesn't have to have managed Birmingham, but I'm sure they will. And you don't have to choose one because everyone sort of broke that boundary already. So you can choose as many as you like.
Yeah, I think two different managers for two different reasons. I think the manager I would pick would be Steve Bruce, just because it started a little bit of success. Yeah. But then the other one, I think, would be Barry Fry.
Okay, brilliant. So we're going to start with sort of provisional, because it went well the last episode. We done a provisional, Martin done a provisional Manchester United 11. So I'd ask you to choose your all-time Birmingham 11.
I'll probably go with just players that I've seen. So that kind of rules out your Trevor Francises and that's probably the only Blues player people know about. Number one, Ben Foster.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few. Mike Taylor was great when we first came up. We started to have a little bit of success. We had Hart. He was good, but I think Ben Foster was class.
Was Foster in the team that won the League Cup?
Yeah. He started that. He's in that team. He's great keeper. I mean, we've been quite lucky actually in the keepers. We had Ian. See, I'm going to name names now. You'll have no idea. Ian Bennett, good kid. I
remember Bennett.
Yeah, he was class. And we've had some decent keepers. Jack Butland obviously didn't stay for too long, but I don't think Butland's quite gone on to do what people thought he would.
He was lined up to be like the next best thing.
Yeah, just never quite kicked on. Don't know why. Something weird going on at Stoke there, I think, as well. Defence. Again, defenders, we've had some good defenders. I mean, we had a really great partnership of Roger Johnson and Scott Dam. But I think in the middle of defence, I'd have to have Kenny Cunningham.
Yeah.
And Darren Pearce.
Oh, no, yeah, Pearce was a great servant to you, wasn't he?
Class. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, we had that little generation there. We've had some... you don't get it much anymore in the modern day, do you? They just seem to love playing for the club. I mean, I don't think he was even a supporter of the club, but I think he became a supporter of the club.
Yeah.
And then the left back, Martin Granger, similar kind of mould.
Yeah.
And then the right back, Steve Carr.
Carr was fantastic. He was fantastic at Spurs as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, cracking player. Midfield, you know what? I was trying to think of a right winger, and I went for Devlin first of all.
Yeah.
Paul Devlin.
Yeah.
But actually, I think I picked Penham.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we don't get many players in the prime, and I think when he played for us, I think he was actually class. I mean, he wasn't. I don't know. He's a bit of a Marmite type player, isn't he? Like a lot of our players.
Yeah. No. To be fair, he only left because you went down. He probably would have stayed.
Yeah. He was good. And then on the left, Stan Lazaridis.
Oh, fantastic! Love Lazaridis.
When he came, he was great. Great winger. Run down the line all day. That's all he did. Run down the line, finger crosses. Run down the line, finger crosses. Sometimes you just run too long. Lose the ball. In the middle of the park,
Yeah.
Damien Johnson.
Yeah.
Is he was class. So just for the sheer heart. And then Savage.
Oh, Savage is in, is he? Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Savage. He didn't leave on the best of terms. Savage. Up front, Jeff Horsfield.
Yeah.
And then
Horsfield,
maybe between Horsfield and Duggery. I mean, Duggery wasn't there for long, but left the lasting impression. So let's go Duggery.
Okay, so yeah, Horsfield, he scored the final goal in the game you're going to talk about later, actually. Your classic match that you'll probably really enjoy talking about. So, Premier League era-wise, so when the Premier League started, you were sort of, Barry Fry left and Trevor Francis took over, didn't he?
Yep, that's right. Barry Fry was...
But Fry did well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was kind of the start of the new era. We'd had the Kumar brothers were the owners before Sullivan and the Golds came in. Yeah. And it was just, I mean, worse then than it is now. Then Sullivan, Gold came in, Barry Fry, manager, and that was just starting. Although we got relegated his first year, yeah, you just felt like something was starting to happen.
Yeah. So then Trevor Francis came in.
Yeah.
And he almost got there, but not quite. I think he got to 3 sort of playoff semi-finals, and he just couldn't get you up. But what did you think of him as a manager? Because obviously he's like a Birmingham legend.
No, he's a legend, isn't he? Yeah. He was steady. Everyone liked him, loved him. Yeah. But what's probably gutting is the fact that the year we sacked him was the year we went up. Yeah. And he just wanted to be a success. At least he had the League Cup final the year before.
Yeah.
Which was class. Which we just missed out on, got robbed. But he just wanted, you could tell the stress and the pressure on him at the end. It's just, he wanted to do it for Birmingham, and he just, like you say, so close.
Yeah, it was, just so close. So that's his boot behind you, isn't it? Is that Trevor Francis?
Yeah, boot in the picture.
That's the So how do you know that that's Trevor Francis' boot? Do you get a certificate?
How do you know anything's real when you buy it online?
Yeah, exactly. I'd have a look in it, see if I could find a toenail or something.
Yeah. It's an old boot, but it's a retro boot, so it's not one of his original boots. But it's I've got a picture of him signing it. Apparently, I think it's real. The company I've bought it off, but they're the official memorabilia sponsors of Birmingham City. So.
Oh, okay. So and it looks good as well. Anyway, doesn't it? It looks nice.
Yeah. I'll show you if you've got a few bits and bobs around the bar.
Yeah, as I was just about to say, you've got some bar there. It's your pride and joy. Would you like to give everyone a little tour of your bar?
You want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it now. Why not? The night is young.
Let's see if I can... can you flip the camera around, or do I have to... Let's have a look.
Oh, that's great, isn't it?
Few pictures, few shirts up on the wall.
Is that Bellingham? Is that the retired shirt?
Don't. Yeah, don't. And then you got the big screen and the pool table and the arcade.
You got the arcade machine. That is a handsome bar, my friend.
And the old wood burner in the corner. I think you might be able to see that.
Lovely.
It's been good over lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, And you got the World Cup, which I always tell you that I want.
Yeah. But they've gone up in price. When I bought that, it was only about 20 quid. If you go on eBay now, they're about 100 quid or something stupid like that.
Jesus, are they? So we're at the Trevor Francis point. So Trevor Francis, he left by mutual consent, didn't he? Sort of.
Yeah, that means sacked.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Steve the Messiah Bruce came in. Do you know, I've been thinking, I spend half my time talking about Steve Bruce. I was looking old episodes, and just he always comes up. Like he's quite, like, he's a fascinating person, actually, Brucey. I know he's not too liked on Tyneside at the minute, but he came and he gave you your dream. You got promoted.
Yeah, class. Went to the final the year before with Trevor Francis. Went to the playoff final with Bruce, both at Cardiff. Kind of became our second home at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I think I started going down. Well, I went down the Blues from the early 90s, so it was always flitted in between what is the old third division, the old second division, between 2 and 3, and then it finally happened. Didn't think it would happen, but it finally happened.
Yes. So, and then your first season in the Premier League, you actually did quite well, didn't you?
Well, we started. Yeah, we were there. What were we there? 5 years? Was it something like that? The first time we went up. Yeah. We had some good. We picked up the points where we should pick up the points. There was no kind of like, bloody hell, we beat Man U or we beat Harley. I think the first game of the first season we went up with Arsenal, and that was just a baptism of fire. I can't remember. I think we were away to Arsenal. We lost. Can't remember, 2-0, something like that. And then we got thrashed, and when we played them again. But picked up the points where we needed to pick up the points against the mid-table, the bottom table teams, and did well.
Yeah. So because I put a post up the other day on the What Hit Sun Twitter page. And I had no idea how loved Christophe Dugarry actually was. Like, I couldn't sleep. I just kept getting messages about him. He was everyone loved him.
Yeah. Well, he was the first. I mean, Birmingham up until that point, all the popular players, I would say, going by my team, were the give you a bit of heart.
Yeah.
Passion, full-blooded, played for the team, and that was kind of Birmingham up until that point. Dugarry was probably the first flair player who would take a game by the scruff, and he he didn't do a lot in the games, but what he did, amazing. Haven't seen it down the Blues, but I haven't seen it down the Blues.
Yeah, so he's very high regarded. Like I saw that with that's the tweet. That's the only tweet that mine has just gone on complete fire. That everyone was just like so quick to praise him. Like they're absolutely in love with him. Like,
the game for me is a game against Southampton. I think that's probably the best game down the Blues. Technically wise from a player that I've seen. Just the odd flick here, the odd little bit of skill there, just that's.
Yeah, that come up a lot. Everyone was saying Southampton. They would say, you just but then the second season he wasn't so good.
Something, I don't know what happened. It's kind of like, it's almost like he signed the contract and wish he didn't sign the contract, didn't kind of want to be there, and homesickness, who knows. Got to that stage of his career, maybe he just wanted to, go back home and chill out, but no, nothing, not a patch on what he was the first season.
Yeah, and then Forsell, he got injured as well. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of struggled without them two without Forsell and then without Dugarry, like as he was. So did you go down the next season?
I was trying to think of the years. What did we go? We went up 2002, 2003. I think we were there 4 or 5 years. 5 years.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not sure. I think it was the season he kind of left that we went down.
Yeah, but you came straight back up.
Yeah, yeah. Then we kind of became a little bit yo-yo.
Yeah, you were up and down, literally,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
sense of the word, for a bit.
The first we got in there, we had like that little spell in there, and you think, oh, we're getting somewhere now, and but went wrong.
So obviously, this means a lot more at the minute because no one's allowed in the grounds. But just tell me, when you go into the Blues, when you go into Birmingham, what's that feeling that you get? What's the buzz of a match day? What does it mean to you?
It's changed because when I first started to go, when I was first season ticket holder, I went on my own. Back in, I think it was 92, 93, there weren't many Blues fans around. They're all bloody Villa fans. Yeah, yeah. I know. So I used to go on my own. I used to literally get the bus up, go to the game, get the bus home. And then when I came back from uni, probably about 2000, that's when the match experience changed. It was get to the pub for Soccer AM start. So we used to watch Soccer AM in the pub, have a few beers, and then kind of stumble off onto the ground. And then it sounds like it's taken the piss really, because we don't really have that many fans down there, but still the live atmosphere, you walk in.
Yeah.
And we normally used to get there just a couple of minutes before kickoff. And there's a few songs, the old ELO song that we have going.
Yeah.
The old clapping at the start of that. And it's just the buzz, isn't it? The atmosphere.
That's when you start getting revved up, when you walk up the steps.
Yeah. Walk up the steps, you could hear the fans, everyone's kind of going down the concourse and everyone's starting to get into it. Lovely. And then it's changed now. I don't go with my mates anymore, it's me and the kids. So it's kind of a little bit more.
Yeah, so now you take the kids, are you a bit more civilized now? Now you take you have to watch what you say.
Has to be, yeah. I mean, in fairness, bless them, they started laughing and repeating all the swear words to begin with because it's kind of new to them, but I think they're used to it now. They know the mom won't give them a lift up to the football and back from the football if they repeat it. But but it's nice, isn't it? You bring it on the next generation. That's how it works.
Exactly, yeah, they enjoy it. They like going.
Love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love it. Yeah. My daughter, funny enough, my daughter probably more so than my son. She's passionate. She loves football. She loves playing it. Loves going to watch it. Not so much the telly. This season, and the end of last season, it's kind of waned off a little bit because A, we're shit, and B, they just don't like watching it on the TV so much. So I can't wait to be able to get back in just so they can, get back into it.
Yeah. I think that watching it with sometimes if there's a game on and I think I don't know if I can watch it with no fans. Yeah, so, I think the fans for me, and the football, as I said in the other episode with Tom, it's the social element of the games. Going to the pubs, everyone's there, everyone's getting ready, and then you'll go to the ground, everyone's walking up in your thousands. That's what makes football for me. Yeah,
I mean, it's even with the kids, we still go to the pub before I have a couple of beers. There's a pub. It's like a hotel pub, but they've got a foosball table, so the kids will go and play foosball a little bit. I'll have a few beers, chat to whoever will chat to me, to be honest. Sometimes it's the home fans, sometimes it's the away fans. But either way, it's just nice sitting there chatting, having a beer, talking about football.
Nice. So what's the grub like at the old Blues then? Because at Tottenham, they do a lovely Tottenham pie, I must admit. It's lovely. And a sausage roll as well. What's the old food like? It's nice.
I don't know, mate. I never eat side of that. I always get a hot dog on the way. Get a hot dog or a burger on the way. The Balti pies used to be legendary, but we changed there's a whole, I'm sure you search it, there's a whole kind of Balti pie revolt going on against Blues. I think that they changed their supplier a few years back, and apparently it's not the same.
Oh, okay.
But the whole inside the ground at Blues, getting a beer or getting food or anything like that, you're queuing for, I don't know, half hour, staffed.
Yeah, you've got to risk sort of missing a late goal in the first half, haven't you? Really, to go and get it.
That's what we used to do. We used to take it in turns. It's like, whose turn is it?
Yeah.
There's 5 minutes left. Your turn. You're going to the bar. Send them up there. There's a few beers waiting for you when you get up, just in time to.
Exactly, because otherwise you're missing a bit of the second half, so you can't win.
Yeah. And down the Blues, it used to be a nightmare. As soon as it used to get near second half, shutters would come down, no matter how many people were still waiting to get a beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just it doesn't seem to be like that so much anymore. But in the old days, it used to be like 5 minutes before second half time, shut her down. Especially if you've been waiting there for the whole half time. There you go.
So my next question, and I don't mean to upset you, but have you been to Villa Park?
No. It's the one thing I've never got into going away. I mentioned to you the other time, the only away game I've been to is Southend, which is when Stan Collymore scored the hat-trick. We lost 4-0, and that was just but I only just about get away with going to the home games with the wife. So away, I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
Just, especially not with the kids. They're just, I don't know.
Yeah.
The grief that you might get, and
oh yeah, that game especially. You'd like it's not for the faint-hearted, is it? Really? I mean, everything that's happened over the years, the Grealish thing. So was that was at Blues? Were you at that game?
Yeah.
You were? Do you know him? Yeah. Do you know him?
No. Nothing to do with it. But the problem is that on the TV, and a lot of people say all the Blues fans reacted and they cheered when he did it and stuff like that. And maybe they did in the Tilton where we used to sit when I used to go with the lads. But where we were, the lads I was chatting to next to me just ruined the game. You're just like, what a...
Yeah. It ruins the game, yeah. There's no need for it.
Well, and then I've got to explain to the kids for the next 10 minutes who initially found it slightly amusing. And then you got to explain to them, actually, no, it's wrong. You can't. And we were lucky not to get in more trouble.
Yeah.
Than we did, because we ain't got a great history with the EFL. They don't like us as it is. Don't need that kind of stuff.
So I'm going to talk about...
I'm not a Grealish fan, but I went on Twitter and I even apologised. I went on Twitter and bloody tweeted Jack Grealish and apologised to him.
Oh, really? Did you? Yeah, just said, yeah.
So I did it, but yeah. Yeah, it's no place for it. No place for it.
Yeah. So, cup finals. I gather you've been to a couple. What is it like? What is it like going to a cup final? What's it like going to a cup final supporting your team? The day must be a complete buzz.
Amazing. The first one, I don't really remember, and not because we had a beer, just because it was back in 1995. So I can say I went to the old Wembley, and I've got vague recollections of it, but it's nearly 30 years ago now. So that was my first one. But the first one that I really remember was the one against Liverpool. And it was, we got on the train, I don't know what time in the morning, got into Cardiff, found a pub that was open at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the atmosphere in the pubs, it was just taken over by Blues fans. And then the walk up to Cardiff, the Millennium Stadium. Amazing. And then with the roof shut as well. I think the roof was shut for 2. Can't remember, but it might have been shut for 2. Atmosphere inside the ground, electric.
Was it?
Yeah, amazing. Well, quite lucky. It's not that great at the moment, but if you look at when I've supported the Blues, we've not had. It's been quite a successful period of our time. We had the cup final against Liverpool, playoff final, then the year after where we went up. Had a few years in the Premier League, a few derby wins. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
Well, I can and I will, but.
So next, I did this with Tom on one of the previous episodes. We did the Villa Vault. Tonight we're going to do the Blues Vault. So I've got 10 players here. We'll do a few goes of it. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 10.
Okay. Oh, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, yeah. Number between 1 and 10 is just ex-Blues players. Just tell me what you thought about their time at the club, how they were perceived by fans, etc., etc. And yeah, we'll do a few goes. Number 1 to 10, please, Woody.
Number 1.
Darren Anderton.
Sick note. I don't know how many games he played for. How many games did he play for us? Was it one season? And he might have had about 10, 15. I don't know. I might be completely wrong. I don't really remember that much about him, to be honest. No. Apart from he was another one of those players that came in. We've had some successful players coming at the twilight of their career, and I think he might have had a few flashes of brilliance, but I don't really remember that.
He was actually a fantastic player.
In his day, definitely.
But he was just plagued by injury.
Yeah. But how many players have there been like that down the past?
Yeah, so many. If you look on players' Wikipedia, like most of them say, "Oh yeah, he missed this season and that season through injury." Like very sort of unlucky. So yeah, that's your take on Darren Anderton. That was short and sweet. Let's do
it. Next, let's go for number 5.
Number 5 is Emil Heskey.
You know what? I loved Emil Heskey. I thought he was brilliant. He was with us for a while. He wasn't the most prolific goal scorer for us, but I don't think that we kind of his thing. He was the target man, headed down, and he scored off him. How many years was he with us? We had him for a few years.
I think he was also with you until you went down, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. No, I liked him. I think he got a lot of stick.
He did anyway.
Yeah, just for the fact that he didn't always score as many as you might want, especially in those days. It was probably quite a large transfer fee for us, but I liked Heskey.
Yeah, I think Chris Kirkland said on the first episode as well, he was like, it'd be first name on my team sheet all the time, because not just for his goal scoring, but for his all-round play.
Yeah, it's a bit like, Horsfield probably scored more than Heskey, I don't know, but he's that kind of target man, isn't it? And Blues have always had, look at Zigic and players like that, we've always had the big player up front who you lump it up to.
Yeah.
Give it to them, they lay it off. The other man might score, or he gets a few headers in himself, gets a few goals. So, no, Heskey, I'll take Heskey.
Fantastic. So you've done 1 and 5. Let's do a couple more.
7.
Number 7 is Clinton Morrison.
He was with us for quite a while, wasn't he, old Clinton?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He's on Sky quite a lot now as well, isn't he? Doing
that's it.
He's, I don't think he was as good for us as he could have been, which sounds a bit strange because he was a nippy little, not complete opposite to Heskey, but he was a nippy little skillful player at times. Scored a few important goals. I like Morrison. You're talking about the kind of era where we have the little purple patch as well with Morrison.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do one more.
Go for 10.
Number 10 is Lee Bowyer.
Class.
Yeah?
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. There was quite a few central midfielders we had that came through in the twilight. Like we had Barry Ferguson, we had Lee Bowyer, we had Ricky Butt, we had players like that. But Lee Bowyer came in, you kind of like, I didn't expect too much of anything, Lee Bowyer, when he came in, but brilliant. Another heart on his sleeve, gave his all for the team. Might not, actually, he's quite skillful as well. I was going to say he might not be the most skillful player, but
yeah,
he was. Yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, he had a lot. As you say, he had a lot of passion in him. Bowyer.
Yeah. Another. To be honest, that's all you need at Blues to be successful. As long as you give your all, that's all we ask for.
So yeah, we've spoken before about sort of as you say, like players coming to Blues at their twilight age, and it does make me laugh because every player I ever mention, you always say, "Yeah, he was great for Blues." Like the other day, because I often go on about Andy Cole, and you were like, "Yeah, he's great for Blues," and I was like, "Was he?" Like, yeah.
That's so great. He's probably had about 10 games and scored probably about 2 goals, but too much overegg these things. But yeah, I can't think of a player we didn't have.
Yeah, you've had so many players, and what you said to me the other day, you said, "Yeah, we've got a contractual agreement for Harry Kane when he's 54." I don't disbelieve it.
He'll be there.
So what we're going to do next is, Woody, we're going to play the game On Me Head Son, Not Off Me Head Son. I know you're not looking forward to this, but it has to be done, mate, because we've got a leaderboard and everything. But you say that, but your Blues knowledge is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. Anything else is abysmal.
So, right, I'm going to start a timer. You get a minute to answer as many questions as you can about retired footballers' heads, its heads, headers, etc., etc. Let's get the timer on. 30 seconds. So, for 1 minute, sorry. Sorry, I'm having a moment here. So you've got 1 minute to answer as many as you can about retired footballers' heads. Are you ready? You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. How many heads are on the pitch in the game, including the ref?
Hang on, mate. You broke up. Say that again.
Right, let's start again. That was the reception. So, how many?
That's a good start.
How many heads are on the pitch in the game, including the referee?
23.
Yep. Whose header was ruled out for England in the 1998 World Cup clash with Argentina?
'98. Oh,
yeah.
No idea. Heskey?
Sol Campbell. Which Newcastle manager famously headbutted the Hull player?
Which who, sorry?
Which Newcastle manager famously headbutted a Hull player?
Sorry, I think
Which Newcastle manager famously headbutted a Hull player?
I can't remember. Newcastle player headbutted who?
Newcastle. Oh, we're out of
time.
Is
that the genus?
No, it was Newcastle. Newcastle manager headbutted a Hull player. So which Newcastle?
Oh, is that Pardew?
It was Pardew. I'm going to let you have that, and I'm going to give you a couple more questions because of the connection. So, how many headed goals did Dwight York score? 38 or 42?
42.
38, that was. And who scored more headed goals, Andy Cole or Dion Dublin?
Dublin.
It was Dublin. So you got 3.
Well, there you go. I'll tell you that.
That's not too bad, is it? You know, and we had some problems there. That's what happens on live podcasting. But yeah, so fantastic. So we're going to wrap up shortly. Just wanted to ask you about your managers you chose and why you chose them and why they're special to you.
Bruce, because we went up.
Yeah.
And then we had success when we went up. I think for me, my opinion on Bruce is it kind of went wrong when he tried to start playing football. I think when we went up, it was all about we had 11 players on the pitch that would give you 100% throughout the game.
Yeah.
That's how we went up. That's how we were successful when we went up. And then I think fans are a bit funny at times. I think fans started to expect a little bit more. So, we've been in the Premiership now for 4 or 5 years. Maybe we should start playing a bit more attractive. And I think he kind of tried to pander to that, and then it just went wrong. But I still love him, although I didn't when he went the other side. And then Barry Fry, just for the laughs.
I love Barry Fry.
I mean, you'd go You go down the match, and there'd be 5 new players on the pitch. You've got no idea who they are. You spend the first 30 minutes looking through your program, looking at the numbers. Who's number 75? Oh yeah, it's him. And and even just his interviews, you couldn't not love the guy. And that was the start of the Brady, Gold, Sullivan era, where it all started to just pick up a little bit.
Yeah, so so Fry basically he sort of was the start of the evolution into the Premier League, really.
Took a leak in all 4 corners of the pitch to try and get rid of the curse and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love Barry Fry, such a character. He's a great servant at Peterborough as well, I think. I don't know if is he still there as... I know he's not the owner anymore, but whether he's a chairman or vice chair, I don't know. I think he might still be around Peterborough. Every time there's a decent Peterborough player, Barry Fry comes onto the news and says that Birmingham should sign him. We never do. So, just going back to Steve Bruce, for me, he always seems to start well. Wherever he's been, he always starts well, but then something happens with Bruce. I don't know what. I don't know.
I think at Birmingham, he used to have an assistant manager, Mark Bowen, who I think left to go to Wales with Mark Hughes.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, maybe he's a very good man manager at times, but maybe not the best coach. And as soon as we lost Bowen, as number 2, that's when we seemed to go down a bit. Yeah. Might be coincidental, I don't know. That's my kind of thinking about it, one of my recollections. Mark Bowen, I think, was class. I think he might have got a couple of managers' jobs at some point, but I just don't think it ever worked out. I think he went back to being a number 2.
So who won the League Cup? Was that Bruce?
Oh no, McLeish. I didn't even mention Bruce.
McLeish, yeah, but then he went the other way, didn't he, McLeish?
Yeah, he did. Bruce, there was a little bit of a gap.
McLeish just went directly to Villa, didn't he?
Yeah. But in fact, you can't really blame McLeish, because when he got relegated, we had Carson Young as the owner then.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he said it publicly or if it's rumours or anything like that, but I think he basically said, unless you get a straight back up, you're being sacked.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been the problem ever since we've had Chinese ownership. It's just been that's where it's gone. That's where it's gone wrong.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, Woody. It's been a pleasure to talk. I've enjoyed it. It's flown by, actually. Had a nice chat. So that was What a Hit, Son, the Retro Football Podcast for Retro Football fans. We'll be back sometime soon. Woody, cheers, mate, and have a good evening.
No worries, you too, mate.
Cheers, man. See you soon.
See you later.